Hello, humans, monsters, and other creatures. Savard is here, coming back with part Who Cares of What If Deku had Compress. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has gone out of the entrance exam of UA and outside of the building. He meet outside with none other than his master, Mr. Compress, or as he know him by the name of Atsuhiro Saka, as he invited Izuku to eat some things or just to take some time with him enjoying himself, as Izuku actually gone with Atsuhiro to eat some ice cream. And before we get right into it, guys, don't forget like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Right now, Izuku and Atsuhiro are just eating some ice cream, and Izuku, of course, still wearing his suit. He didn't take it off after coming out of the entrance exam, so he's still keeping it. As after that, immediately Atsuhiro said, "So, how was the exam? What did you do? And did anything special happen with you?" "Oh, yeah, there was a lot of robots. We should have destroyed some of them. I got some in my marbles here," as Izuku holding a couple of marbles in front of Atsuhiro. As Atsuhiro said, "Where are you gonna use these?" As Izuku said, "I don't know, maybe training, maybe I'm just gonna turn them into parts and see if I can do anything. I'm thinking about making myself a gun." A gun? It's not like a real gun, I mean a marble gun. A gun that I can shoot from it my marbles into a far distance and much more powerful shots. I think that will gonna be useful thing. In the end, my hand is only can throw so far. As after that, Atsuhiro said, "Well, smart as usual. Anyways, it's coming night time right now and the sun is start to set. How about you go back into your mother house?" As Izuku said, "Alright, sensei," as Izuku was about to go, but he said, "Why don't you come with me?" "Coming with you? Why?" I mean, my mother was asking a lot about you and she want to meet you, and also I think it's better for you to, know her personally, so she will not gonna get scared thinking that I'm just training with a random person in the street or something like that. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense. Well then, I think it's time for me and Miss Midoriya to meet again. Can you lead me?" As Izuku said, "Of course." And after that, Izuku and Atsuhiro start walking until they finally got close into the apartment building. Izuku knocking on the door and Inko opened it up with her left arm because, as you know, her right arm has been cut off by Izuku compress abilities far in the first episode. Anyways, of course, I forgot her name. Inko said, "Who's there?" As she opened the door, she see Izuku wearing a suit saying, "Hey mom," and behind Izuku a man holding a stick just lifting up his hat and said, "Hello madam." As after that, Inko said, "Oh, hey Izuku, but who's this guy?" As Izuku said, "Don't you remember him? Is Mr. Atsuhiro Saka, the magician." As after that, Inko looking closer into him and said, "Oh, you're the magician. Yeah, I remember now. Sorry, I couldn't recognize you. It's been a long time since." Yeah, it's been really a long time. But either way, can I?" As Inko said, Of course, come inside." As she just make Izuku and of course Atsuhiro come inside and sit on the couch. After that, Inko said, "Well, can I know why are you here?" As of course Izuku said, "Well, mom, Mr. Atsuhiro was helping me to train, as I told you before." "Oh yeah, you're training. I thought that you are training alone, to be honest. I kinda forgot about that." As after that, Atsuhiro said, "Well, that's right, I helping your son training, and I have to say that he's really such a fast learner, and I'm sure that he will gonna be a great hero in the future." As after that, Inko said, "Well, I'm happy to hear that. Sit down and maybe wash your face. I'm gonna prepare the dinner." As after that, Atsuhiro just looking on Inko how she using her telekinesis quirk just to help her cook things, some sugar flying around her head and spoons and things like that. As Atsuhiro said, "Well, looks like that you are really getting used to using your quirk, Miss Inko." As Inko said, "Well, yeah, in the end, losing my right arm kinda helped me to train a little bit on my quirk. I'm not in the level of a hero, but it's simple to help me, go through my life. As Atsuhiro said, I'm happy to hear that you are getting over that incident. As after that, Izuku coming back after taking off his, of course, suit and said, now, Mom, what we have on dinner? And Sensei, thanks for the suit. It was really kinda fancy. As Asuhiro said, no problem, Izuku. Did you? Yeah, I just did what you told me to. I wear it inside the entrance exam. As Inko said, oh yeah, Izuku, your entrance exam. What about it? As Izuku said, how about we just eat the dinner and I can speak with you about it. As after that, Inko preparing the dinner, Mr. Atsuhiro, Izuku and Inko just sitting around the table, and Izuku starts speaking about his entrance exam, how he helped some students, his marble thing, and some tricks that he done, how he, made everyone kinda scared, thinking that he committing suicide, and in the end just, compressing himself and bowing in front of everyone and all that special thing. You can just say that he made a special show for everyone to watch. As Atsuhiro starts, chuckling a little bit and said, now that's what I mean by performance. That's what I'm talking about, Izuku. As Izuku said, thanks, Sensei. As Inko said, well, looks like that you are two really getting along too well. Anyways, I think that how about I prepare something else? Are you gonna stay for the cookies, Mr. Atsuhiro? As Atsuhiro said, well, I would really, but before he managed to continue, he getting a call on his phone as he said, huh? Give me a minute, please. As he stand up and go into a little bit far from Izuku and Inko, as he start talking and said, alright, I'll be here soon. Don't worry, I always come in time. As he closed the phone, and after that he said, well, I would really like to stay and eat some cookies, but it seems like I have some work to do. Anyways, sorry for the sudden disappearing, but anyways, Izuku, see you tomorrow. Are you gonna, as Izuku said, of course I'm gonna come to train with you tomorrow. As after that, Atsuhiro said, great. Now, if you would allow me. As after that, he just leave the place. And Izuku, saying goodbye to him, and Inko talking with Izuku, telling him that, well, he was kinda nice person. As Izuku said, yeah, he really taught me a lot of things. As Inko said, well, how about you go sleep? I'm sure that you are tired. As Izuku said, yeah, you're kinda right. I'm so tired. As Izuku stand up and going into his room and immediately closing the door. And after that, suddenly he getting a rush of power into his body again, and sitting on his laptop start designing a gun for marbles, to say the least. As in the next day, Izuku start training with Atsuhiro for the next week, until finally the message from UA has came back to his house. And of course, Atsuhiro has come into the house with Izuku to watch the message, as Izuku, Inko, and Atsuhiro are just sitting in front of the device, and Izuku just pressing on the button and said, well, here goes nothing. As he turned it off, on, as he looked into some sort of a 3D projectile shooting a photo of All Might speaking with Izuku, as he said, ha, young Midoriya. It's me, All Might, and I'm happy to tell you that you are got through the exam of UA, the entrance exam for the hero course. And I have to say that you are give us the show. You are really a man of a show, aren't you? I kinda have to say that I enjoyed your show, and also that you passed the exam with the flying colors, with the lots of points of defeating robots and even more points from saving people. You proved that you're worth to be a true hero. Now, let me be the first one to welcome you into your hero academia. As of course the footage just turned off, and Izuku smiling, and Inko immediately jumping from happiness, and of course Atsuhiro just looking down, chuckling to himself and smiling. As after that, Atsuhiro said, well, congratulations, Midoriya. As Izuku said, thanks, Sensei. As he just hugging, of course, Atsuhiro, and he getting surprised a little bit, but he hugged Izuku back. And after that he said, well, I have to leave. As Izuku said, this fast? Well, I came here just to see your success. Even if I knew that you were gonna get into the hero course either way, I just needed to see the smile of yours, so I have to go now. See you around, as he just go out from the house and Izuku stay with his mother celebrating for the night, and the next day Izuku finally go into UA as he's standing in front of the entrance of UA and said, this will be exciting. I wonder who kind of people am I gonna meet there, and I wonder what kind of, new tricks Master Atsuhiro will gonna teach me after the school. He told me that he will gonna teach me something special. As after that, Izuku start walking inside the UA, and he start walking as in the end he got lost a little bit, and I mean a lot. He really lost himself, as after that Izuku said, why the hell this place is so big? Where can how the hell am I supposed to find my class here? As after that he hear a sound from behind saying, searching for someone, as after that Izuku looking back and see in front of him none other than the same black-haired guy in the black suit. Say, of course, none other than Shota Aizawa, as Izuku said, oh, you are Mr. Aizawa, right? The one from the entrance exam? As Aizawa said, yeah. And I see that you are searching for Class 1A, eh? As Izuku said, yeah, I'm kinda searching for it. Can you... Alright, just come after me. As after that, Izuku start walking with Aizawa into the class, and Aizawa just looking on Izuku holding 2 marbles in his left arm, doing some tricks, normally just sweeping them, moving them, some simple things, as he said in his mind, huh. So he always keep training his fingers, huh? Trying to stay as efficient as possible, huh? Trying to keep his hands warm and always to try and do some magic tricks. Whatever this kid's story is, I wonder if he can possibly do something more than just compressing things. Either way, All Might told me to keep an eye on him and to see if he could possibly learn a few things in the future, but for now, I'm just gonna act normally with him. As in the end they finally got into the class and he opened the door up. As everyone just looking outside, they see Aizawa and Izuku. As after that Izuku come into the class and sit down, and Bakugo said, Deku! As Izuku said, great, the angry Pomeranian. As after that Bakugo said, what the fuck are you doing in my class? As Izuku just sitting down and smiling to himself, not speaking with Bakugo. As Bakugo said, I said, what the fuck are you doing in my class, you villain? As after that, immediately, Mina said, wait, a villain? As Bakugo said, this fucking... But before he managed to continue, Aizawa wrapping his scarf around Bakugo's head and smash it into the table as he said, shut up. I told you that I will gonna kick you outside of UA before even the entrance exam, and now you have managed to get into my class, so shut the fuck up, or I'm gonna kick you out. Anyways, good morning class, my name is Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. As Baku is just getting angry looking at Izuku but keeping his mouth shut. As after that he said, either way, congratulations to get into the hero course or whatever, but for now, we are these outfits, alright? As he just taken a sleeping bag from under the table that he right now standing behind and throwing some, of course, his gym uniforms into the students. As Uraka said, wait, aren't we gonna do, introduce ourselves or something like that? As Aizawa said, well, this is my class and I am your homeroom teacher. I can do whatever the fuck I want, so I told you to wear these and also to go outside. We will gonna do a quirk apprehension test, so don't be late or I'm gonna kick you out of here. As after that he just get out of the class and Izuku standing up after taking the outfit and start walking out. As he starts walking until suddenly Uraka coming by his side and said, hey, you are the same green-haired boy that saved me. As Izuku said, oh yeah, and you are? As Uraka said, my name is Uchaka Uraka. Nice to meet you. As Izuku shaking her hand, and after that he said, well, how's your leg? As Uraka said, well, it's okay, but thank you again for saving me. As Izuku said, it's nothing. It's not really the most hard thing for me. To be honest, it's kind of funny. As Uraka said, fun? What do you mean by funny? As Izuku said, I mean, the look in everyone's eyes where they were, when they were surprised from me or something like that. You will not understand that maybe in the future, but for now, it's nice to hear that you are okay. See you around. As Izuku starts walking a little bit fast and going into the changing room. As he come inside, and after that, he wear his, of course, gym uniform, but suddenly he see a kid with a, some sort of a balls in his head, just looking through a hole inside the wall. As Izuku said, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" As after that, of course, Mineta said, "Hey, do you want to look? I found a hole into the girls' changing room." As Izuku said, "Oh, really? Can I see?" As after that, Mineta said, "Of course." As he just a little bit going away, and Izuku getting hold of Mineta head and putting it, turning Mineta into a little marble. As Kirishima said, what the fuck did you do?" As Izuku said, "Don't worry about him." As after that, Izuku just holding the marble and throw it outside of the window into the field and throwing Mineta outfit outside too. As after that, he just decompress Mineta in the middle of the air and Mineta goes smashing into the ground on his face. As after that, Izuku said, "There. Such an asshole." As he taken another marble out of his pocket and put it inside the hole, as he just turned it into something to close the hole with. As after that, Kirishima said, "Well, that was so melee, but don't you think you were kinda overdoing it by throwing him out of the window? And how did you even do that thing with your weird looking balls?" As after that, Izuku said, "First of all, they called marbles, and second of all, I hate perverts. Third of all, my name is Izuku. Nice to meet you." As after that, Kirishima said, "I like your style. My name is Kirishima. Nice to meet you too." As after that, Bak just looking on Izuku and getting angry, even angrier, thinking how people are acting so good with him while he's basically a villain, at least in his eyes. In the end, Izuku and all the class coming outside, and Aizawa said, "Well, yeah, welcome class. Either way, Midoriya." As Izuku said, yeah, Mr. Aizawa?" As Aizawa said, "Look, I can understand why you throw Mineta outside of the window, but if you ever throw another student outside of the window, I'm gonna have to expel you." As Izuku said, "Alright." As after that, Aizawa said, "Good. Now, let's do our quirk apprehension test, and for the first place in the entrance exam." As Baka started walking forward, and Aizawa said, "Not you, Katsuki." As Baku said, what?" As after that, Aizawa said, "Izuku Midoriya, can I have you here?" As Baku looking back and seeing Izuku start walking forward, walking past Bakugo while he's looking at him with his right eye and smirking with his face. As Baku said, This villain got the first place! You can't be serious!" As after that, Aizawa said, "Well, he got the first place. He saved about 5 people and also destroyed about 67 robots, which giving him a total points of about 265. So he got the first place, the higher score in the entrance exam, and he will gonna be the first one." As after that, Bog said, "This villain got the highest score. This is just a lie. He's an asshole. He's nothing but a villain, a dirty asshole that's hurting people." As after that, Aizawa said, "What the fuck is your problem with him? Can I know that? Or you know what, I doesn't even care. Go back or I'm gonna expel you, Bakugo." As Bak said, "Fucking asshole." As he just going back. After that, Aizawa said, "Midoriya." As Izuku said, yes, Aizawa? What was your highest score in the throwing the ball in of course, the middle school?" As Izuku just telling him the number, and after that, Aizawa said, "Good. Now, throw this ball with of course, using your quirk." As Izuku said, "Alright." As Izuku holding the ball and turn it into a marble, and Aizawa kinda, want to see what's gonna happen if he, erased Izuku quirk while there's something as, a marble shape inside his arm. As he just looking on Izuku, but the ball doesn't turn back normal. As Aizawa said in his mind, so my quirk is not effective on him? Well, at least if he turned something into a marble. But the question is, can he? As after that, Izuku taking another marble, but Aizawa still keeping an eye on Izuku. Izuku tried to, just to turn the marble into something, but the marble doesn't turn. As Izuku said, what? As Aizawa said in his mind, huh, so it's actually I can't turn his marbles back into normal things, but I can make him unable to decompress or decompress some things. That's good to know. As after that he stopped using his quirk and Izuku finally managed to decompress the marble as Aizawa seeing a gun inside Izuku's hand as Aizawa said, hey, where did you get that? As Izuku said, oh, it's not a real gun, it's just a marble gun. As Aizawa said, a marble gun? As Izuku said, yeah, it's something that I created to, help me to shoot my marbles very far. As after that Aizawa said, you know what, normally I would have said that I doesn't like you to using a gun or something like that because I want to see your physical power, but I'm kinda interesting to know what you will gonna do by using that. As Izuku said, thank you, sensei. As Izuku just putting the marble ball inside the gun, and after that he just shoot it into the air and turn it back into a normal ball. As Aizawa start looking inside his phone and seeing that the ball has gone for about 800, let's say, or maybe less or more. To be honest, I doesn't kinda a real gun, I really doesn't know how far would a real gun shooting a bullet, but a marble gun, I would say that is gonna be a little bit weaker, especially that Izuku doesn't have the the big guns and things like that and the materials to create something so strong. As Aizawa said, huh, interesting. Did you make that by yourself? As Izuku said, yeah, I made it by myself. I had some help. As after that Aizawa said, interesting. As after that Mina said, wow, that looks really fun. Should we, that's really looking so fun. Can I do it next? As after that Aizawa said, fun, huh? Well, how about I increase the amount of fun that we will gonna have? The last place in this apprehension test will gonna be expelled. As after that Uraka said, what? You will gonna expel us if we fail? That's not fair. As Izuku speaks up and said, you really doesn't know him, huh? As Aizawa said, huh? What are you talking about? As Izuku said, you are Shota Aizawa. I searched about you after meeting you in the entrance exam. You are the erasing hero. Your ability is to erase quirks, right? As after that Aizawa said, so you know who I am? As Izuku said, yeah, and I know that you, in the last year in UA, you expelled a whole class. As everyone getting, of course, shocked, and Mina said, he expelled the whole class? And Izuku said, yeah, but I really doesn't know why doesn't he want to expel us all if we failed. As after that Aizawa said, well, if you really want to know, you can say that I'm really not feeling like doing so much paperwork, so I'm just gonna expel one person. That's if I saw some potential in the others, but if no one of you having some potential, well, I'm gonna have to do some extra work. And after that Izuku said, good, alright. What are we gonna do next? As after that Aizawa said, well, we will gonna come back later for the ball throwing, but for now. As after that Aizawa told everyone to stand in a line and to do other apprehension tests like the jumping part. Izuku basically, jumping normal is really not, or you can say that I doesn't think that Izuku will gonna have a trampoline under his legs or something like that, so let's just say that he jumped like normal. And the speed test, or just the 15-meter dash radius or something like that, he starts using his walking very fast because remember his acrobatic skills, making him be able to go a little bit faster than any normal person, but not faster than Ida engine quirk. And also in the power test, Izuku basically, how can I say, he just got one marble inside his hand and put it inside the gun, as he just shoot it and decompressed the marble into a big rock, smashing the whole machine. As after that Aizawa just looking into the result, and in the end, finally they come back into the ball throwing, and Bakugo being the second place, getting to throw the ball second, as Bakugo holding of course the ball and throw it up in the air, as he only got 750, which making him get furious that he couldn't go past Izuku, and making Izuku smirk a little bit. After that, in the end, everyone just doing the the thing. As after that he said, huh, well, looks like that you really done very good. Now here's the result. As he just show everyone the result, Izuku has got about 10th place, but from the between the first 10 students in his class. As Mineta was the last place. As Aizawa said, hey, yeah, by the way, none of you will gonna get expelled. That was just a little, threatening, so I can make every one of you do his best. As after that, everyone sighing a little bit, getting relieved. And Izuku starts, chuckling to himself, saying, so you really saw some potential in us? As after that, Kirishima said, what are you talking about? As Izuku said, oh, come on. You expelled the whole class in the last year, and you telling me that you will not gonna expel any one of us now? You said that you will not gonna expel anyone if you saw any potential. So that's why you are just acting like you wasn't going to really, expel us, right? As after that, Kirishima said, wait, are you saying that he saw some potential in us, and that's why he will not gonna expel us? As Izuku said, well, for now, who knows, maybe in the future he will gonna expel someone. Either way, I think I'm gonna go. As after that, Aizawa said, well, you're really such a smart, huh? Anyways, class, this is it. You can go back into your house. You doesn't have to do anything for the rest of the day. And Midoriya, before you go, I have to talk with you for a minute. As Izuku said, oh, really? Alright, I really doesn't have anything to do. As after that, immediately everyone just leaving the class, but Bakugo standing in front of the doors of UA just waiting for Izuku. But while that happening, Izuku inside the office of course, All Might, and standing in front of him, All Might sitting on the couch with Principal Nezu and Aizawa coming through the door, the door with Izuku. As Izuku said, why is All Might here and Principal Nezu? As after that, All Might said, young Midoriya, it's nice to see you. As after that, Izuku said, it's nice to see you too, All Might, but can I know why? As All Might said, look, young Midoriya, I have to talk with you about something. As after that, immediately, All Might suddenly buffed down into his, skeleton form. As Izuku jumping back, seeing All Might in his weak form. As All Might said, don't worry, it's only me. I am All Might. It's just, I can explain to you everything. Just please calm down. As Izuku said, alright. And after that, All Might starts explaining about his situation, one for all and everything. As Izuku said, so that's why. Interesting, but why are you telling me that? As Principal Nezu speaks up and said, well, young Midoriya, you showed such a nice talents in the entrance exam. You saved a lot of people, and also your quirk is kind of fascinating, and it will gonna be such a useful ability for the heroes. Like, imagine, you will be able to take people that are injured out of the scene so fast, and they will not gonna die. You can just put them inside your pocket and make taking them out of the danger zone much more easier. Capturing villains with one touch, and also the rubble that might fall from a destructive building or a building that's right now collapsing can be all cleaned up so fast by you, which is really such an interesting quirk. And you can, I saw that you really doesn't have a time limit on your quirk, and you doesn't really have a number about how much marbles you can kinda, of course, make at the same time. And also, in the entrance exam outside of the doors of UA, I saw you fighting Katsuki Bakugo, and I saw that you was able to turn the atmosphere itself into marbles, which kinda even more fascinating. Imagine turning a villain that can shoot fire and turning his flames into just marble, which is really such an interesting quirk, and it's really fascinating to see how you really use it. You use it in such a special way, like you are some sort of a magician. As Izuku said, that's exactly what I am. As All Might said, wait, a magician? As Izuku said, yeah, my master is a magician, and he's telling, teaching me the tricks of you can say, he's just teaching me his tricks, and I'm really kinda having fun with it. As after that, All Might thinking to himself and said, so that's why he loved to show himself a lot. I mean, if he trying to become a magician as a hero or something like that, that's all gonna explain a lot. As All Might speaks up and said, well then, but I'll have to ask you one question, young Midoriya. I told you about the secret of One for All, but I want you to take it. As Izuku eyes whiting and said, me? Take it? As All Might said, yeah, your quirk, your ability, your smart behaviors, and also such a strong senses and your acrobatic skills. And I saw a lot of potential in you. I'm sure that One for All will be in a safe hands inside yours. And also, I want to meet your master. As Izuku said, are you sure about this, All Might? As All Might said, yes, young Midoriya. I want you to be the new successor of One for All. So, are you agreeing to that? As Izuku looking down and said, I'm gonna have to think about this for a little bit, alright? I really doesn't know if I wanted it or not. Can I, as All Might said, fair enough. Think about it as much as you want. And tell me if you will gonna take it or not. Just if you could possibly get your master tomorrow into the school, I want to talk with him in person. As Izuku said, of course. Do you want anything else? Or as All Might said, no, you can leave. As Izuku said, alright. Thank you, Principal Nezu, All Might, Mr. Aizawa. See you tomorrow. As after that, Izuku just coming out of the, of course, the school, and of course, Principal Nezu said, well, do you think that he will gonna agree or not? As All Might said, I wonder if he will gonna agree. If he agreed, it will gonna be such a great thing. But if he just didn't agree to that, well, I'm gonna have to go with Miria then. But I kinda wonder who is his master. From what I heard about, he's a magician. So, Principal Nezu, can we search about the magicians that in Japan right now? As Principal Nezu said, good thing. I have some information on my laptop and we can search on it on internet or other things if you want. As All Might said, yeah, please. I want to see a little bit about the magicians that are right now training Izuku. As after that, immediately, All Might and, of course, Principal Nezu start looking on internet, seeing magicians from, of course, all Japan. The old ones, the new ones, and things like that. But for now, this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also, I want you to tell me if you want Izuku to get One for All or not. I feel like it will gonna be something true in the story, to be honest. I mean, Izuku can basically turn anyone he touches into marbles, but at the same time, him being a magician will gonna make him, want to fight, making him want to show himself off and not just ending the fight so fast. Which is that's why I want his, of course, Mr. Compressed to be his master, making Izuku getting that, buff of a confidence to make him feel like he can defeat anyone even without turning them into marbles. But for now, this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Savage was here.